Hey team, it's Nicole here. I'm Presidential Diamond. We have the lovely Ashley Olive on our call with us today, and she just went ambassador last night. So we are so privileged to have her here to share some tips with us and to help us with all the questions that we have for her. So welcome, Ashley.
Hey y'all, I'm so excited to do it. Y'all are my first where I get to introduce myself as an ambassador diamond.
Has it like soaked in yet?
No, not at all. I think last night I was just in shock. This morning I'm more overwhelmed. Like my whole feed is my face. I can't see anything that's not me. And my inbox is exploding. And so right now it's just a little bit overwhelming. So I'm kind of ready for some normalcy.
I bet. That's awesome. We're so excited for you and super proud of you. You've done amazing things just in the last year that you've been in. So I want to start and have you share with everybody a little bit about you and kind of give them your background, your story, what got you started in the business.
Okay, so I've been in the company for 13 months. I joined June of 2014, and I found this company through a hashtag. I found Ashley Hughes on Instagram. So I have identical twin boys that are 4, and they have a little brother that's 2. So I was searching the identical twins hashtag, and when I clicked on it, I saw a gender reveal photo that had Ashley and Thomas holding the twins, and then a box of blue balloons in between, and I did the very same gender reveal for my family. So when I saw the photo, I was like, oh my gosh, how weird, we have the same gender reveal. So I clicked on her picture and saw that we shared our first name. And then I just kind of started stalking through her profile, and I saw that she was married to her high school sweetheart, and I am too, and that he was in the union, and my husband's in the union, that her twins were born in April, and my twins were born in April, that the third little boy was less than 2 years later, just like my third little boy. So we had so many coincidences in our lives. And so I followed her, and I started commenting back and forth. We talked about how lucky we were to raise 3 boys and what an exclusive club it is. And I really never paid attention to what else she posted. And then I started seeing the result pictures, and I was like, that's a scam. I can't believe she thinks Skin does that in 45 minutes. Like, what is she thinking? So for a year, I thought she was a scam. And then she would post family photos and put like retired at 25, full-time family. And I'm like, we need to move to Utah, clearly. Because if I looked at Brandon and I was like, so let's just be a full-time family, we'd live under a bridge. So I was an educator. I taught 8th grade math and algebra for 5 years. And a year ago in May, I made the decision to leave my hometown of LaPorte and switch districts. And to do so, I had to go without pay for 2 months. Well, the very same time, that same May, Ashley's third baby, Milo, passed away from SIDS. Mm-hmm. And when Milo passed away, it made me add her on Facebook. No other reason would I have added her on Facebook, because I would have seemed like a stalker. But because of that happening, because of Milo, I added her on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And when commissions posted in June, she made a post only to Facebook and not Instagram. So if I had not added her, I would not be here. And it was like 5 paragraphs long. And she now tells me I didn't think anybody was going to read it. Well, I read it. And it said they had joined 15 months prior. They couldn't afford $2 wipes. And that they had not worked their business for 1 day for the entire month. They just mourned the loss of their baby, and they still made a 5-figure paycheck. Mm-hmm. So I read it, and of course I'm emotional, because I was so like, why do I get to have my Luke and she doesn't get to have her Milo? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, those wraps work. Like, if she's making 5 figures a month, those stupid things work. Mm-hmm. So 2 weeks later, I messaged her in the middle of the night and said, hey, I think I want to do this. And it was literally like 1:30 in the morning, and she replied. I was like, oh, you want to sell them or use them? I'm like, I think I want to sell them, but I'm in Houston, Texas, so do I need somebody here? And she's like, no, absolutely not. I can do this. And now as a distributor, I totally get it. She's like, no, don't find somebody. So I joined. I had her send me she sent me a video. I watched it, and I literally wrote like, okay, well, send me the link right now, because I'm joining tonight and I'm not telling anybody. Mm-hmm. So I didn't tell my husband, my best friends, my family. I jumped in, and I completed my steps to success in 24 hours, but I didn't even know what the steps to success were. So I can remember her making a big deal about it on Facebook, and I'm like, She probably does that for everybody. I am not special. I've only ever sold World's Finest chocolate bars to get to, but it's a fundraiser here in Texas, to get to go on a cheerleading trip. So sales is not my forte. So 30 days in, I hit diamond, and I got a $10,000 bonus. And so I was really starting to see the vision. I had seen a post where it was like 2 years old, and all these top presidentials and ambassadors and triples had tagged each other and said, comment if you make 5 figures a month, your rank, your age, and how long it took you to get there. In every single person, it was within their first 2 years. So I'm like telling all my girls that had joined me immediately, and I'm like, no, this is going to be us in 2 years, y'all. Like, we're going to do it. We're going to make 5 figures a month in 2 years. Like, we just have to stick to it. They all thought I was nuts. My husband told me I was scammed. And I'm like, no, we're going to do it. If she can do it, we're going to do it. So then my second month, I had gone back to teaching in this brand new district that I thought was going to be amazing, because it's a very sought after district, very hard to get into. And I promoted to double diamond. And when I got that check, it was more than what my husband and I make together as a pipe fitter and an educator. So I just bawled. And then I realized I hated the district that I was in. I did not fit in. They did not like me. They didn't like that I was young, or that I was skinny, or that I liked kids. It was just like an awful experience. So I decided, you know what? If I promote again to triple and I make 5 figures, I'm leaving my education career. So on Halloween, 4 months in, I hit triple, turned in my resignation for Christmas break, and said, I'm leaving. So I left at Christmas 6 months after I joined the company, and then I promoted to presidential in March, and Brandon hit double. And then last night at 13 months, I hit ambassador, and he hit triple diamond. And so now we're just ready to breathe.
Nice. That is amazing. That's so many. I love hearing your story, because it's not your average story. Like I love that you started and like you completed the steps of success and you didn't even know what they were, because you just got in and you ran with it. Like, I love that that's what you did.
Like, people who say they need to wait for their kit, like, it's taken real long to get my kit. I'm like, why are you waiting for a kit?
Yes. Yes, for sure. So that's like my favorite part. When I heard your story for the first time a couple months ago, I was like, that is amazing. Like, she just didn't even know what she was doing, and she just went for it. She was just excited about it. I love that you just jumped in. So a few questions that some of our team has. The first one is, how do you sign so many distributors? Where do you get your distributors, and how do you sign them?
Well, it comes in seasons. Please know that you're gonna sign a lot, and then it's gonna be planting season, and you're gonna feel like you can't sign anybody to save your life, but you stay consistent on social media and follow up, and then you sign a ton. So know that everybody experiences that. I experience that all the time. I have really slow months. But for me, mine are parties and social media. So I am a party girl. That's how I built really fast. I did parties a lot. With an education background, I'm really confident in presenting. And so I didn't know what a party was supposed to look like, because Ashley was in Utah. So I kind of just had to guess. But I figured, what's the worst that's going to happen? These people don't know if I'm wrong. I'll just make it up. So I started having parties, and I rapped people, and I was just excited. And I didn't have a story yet, but I knew Ashley Hughes' story like the back of my hand. So when I speak at parties, I tell a leader's story, and I tell details that I feel like another person would think, that's going to take too much time, I just need to skip over it. That's what makes someone real. That's what makes them connect to it. So I say she couldn't afford $2 wipes. Like, I want her to come off as a real person to someone. And I, to this day, tell Ashley Hughes' story at every party that I do. Do I have a great story? Of course. But I want to tell Ashley's. I want to know somebody's story that isn't me. And do I touch on mine? Absolutely. But telling a leader's story is huge. And your passion. Like, I can't tell you how many people that the next day are like, I don't even know what I signed up for, but you were just so excited that I was like, oh, I'm going to do it with her.
I love that.
I was passionate. I was excited. And I had people that joined me and that weren't at that point yet, that even may have already gone diamond. Or may have gone double, but they still were like, I don't really know what we're doing. I don't know if this is going to work out. And I was so, oh yes, it is. It's going to work out. We're going to make 5 figures a month. We're doing this. You may not believe it yet, but I'm going to believe it enough for the both of us. So don't worry. So for me, parties, that's a big thing. And then social media. So I post every single day to Instagram and Facebook. I'm not an Instagram signer. I've signed one girl from Instagram, and it's Jeannie Page, who went pres in 5 months. So I just got lucky. Everything else is Facebook. And I make sure I make posts about my family and about my life. So my newsfeed and my page isn't just it works.
Yeah.
And then I post result pictures. I post lifestyle posts about just, I'm so glad that it paid for my Starbucks or my diapers or my mortgage. And it doesn't have to be huge things. Like, I still will post, I'm so glad it paid for Starbucks. Do people know I can clearly pay for Starbucks with It Works money? Yes, but it doesn't matter. Doing those type of posts is what's going to speak to someone. If you feel like you're struggling to sign distributors, then you need to look at your Facebook feed. I bet you're not targeting distributors. I had one of my girls come to me and say, I'm getting loyals, but I cannot get a distributor. I'm like, all you post is result pictures. You haven't posted once about how much fun you have, about the friendships you're getting from this, about the money and what it's doing for you. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be Rap Cash. It can be a fast start. But you need to say what it's doing for you, or nobody's going to want to jump in with you because they don't even realize what you're making or doing. And you don't have to post your commissions. You just need to talk about what it's doing for you in your life, the freedom that it's providing you. I love, one of my girls posted today, I had somebody come mow our yard so my husband doesn't have to deal with it. Like, that's something that's going to speak to someone. We're in the Texas heat, and she didn't have to have her husband mow the grass today. That's huge. Yeah. So make sure that you're getting those posts out there that are going to speak to someone. And if you're saying, join my team, it's $99, you probably wouldn't have joined if that's what you saw. So make sure that you're making posts that would speak to you, that would make you join. I know for me, I'm a huge quote person. Like, if somebody posts something that's like, in the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take, I'm like, oh my God, they're right. Yeah. God, I need to do it. And I will post a quote, and someone will message me, you posted that because of me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know you were a potential, but yes.
Yes.
That's why you guessed it.
I love that. That's awesome. So back to parties for just a minute. They want to know how you find people to host parties. Are the parties that you're doing just parties that you've set up and invited people, or are you finding people to host parties for you, and where are you finding them?
People don't host parties for me either, y'all. I'm a party girl, but people don't host parties for me. They're purely launch parties. So I sign a distributor. We immediately plan a launch party within their first month. I'd like it to be in their first 2 weeks, where they invite friends and family. And do I get people like, but only like 2 people are going to come? I was at a party last night when I went ambassador, and I had met this girl one time, so I was with strangers. That was great. And the 2 people that were there both signed as distributors. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 people. That's your team growing. And so it's all launch parties. And if I'm pushing really hard for promotion like ambassador, I went back to doing non-personally enrolled launch parties. So I had one leg that needed to promote. So I went and I did the girl that I signed party. Then anybody who signed at that party, I'm like, okay, when do you want to have one? And I went and I did her party. I mean, I was partying like it was my first month all over again. So like 5 nights a week, parties nonstop. So for me, it is strictly launch parties, and they don't get a choice in the matter. We are having a launch party because that's what's going to get you your product credit, your eligibility for Ruby bonus, your RAP rewards, and it's going to grow your team. And so they know that it's imperative for success. And every person that doesn't have a party ends up complaining and quitting. And I'm like, I told you to have a party. And it's very rare on our team to not have one. And then we also have RAP Wednesdays, where we party every Wednesday, and I present. We normally have 40 to 50 people there every Wednesday. Tonight's going to be massive. But I like doing that because everybody can get in one place and be excited together, hear my presentation, and then they sign who they bring.
I love that. Something that I love about you, that even just being with you over the weekend, is that you're a no-nonsense. Like, they don't have a fact in the matter if they do a launch party. They're going to do one. And I think that April and I talked about it over the weekend a lot. I think it's something that, you don't have to be rude. You just tell them that that's what they need to do. And I think some of us are afraid to tell them, like, okay, you need to have a launch party, instead of just saying, okay, we should probably have a launch. I think people need to be a little bit more bold. They can still be nice about it. They don't have to be rude, because I don't think you're rude, But I think being a little more forward and saying, this is what you need to do if you want to be successful.
If you want to be successful and you want to promote this, these are the things we're going to do. And so many times I get that, I want to be where you are. Tell me what to do.
Yes.
I'm telling you. I'm showing you. I need you to have a party. That's what we need to do. And my team does know that I am I dare you to come to me with an excuse, because it's not going to go over well. Especially the I'm busy one. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's just something that you have to decide that you deserve it. And I think a lot of my girls, I have to believe it for them. And then it gets to the point that I'm like, you have to decide that you deserve this.
Right.
So once you decide that, you're going to be all in and you're going to do whatever it takes. But until you decide that you deserve to be at the same rank as me, you deserve ambassador, you deserve presidential, you have to get to that point, because if you think it's never going to happen, you're right. It's not.
Yep, it's very true. Back to the whole busy thing that you just talked about. How do you juggle everything that you do? Because you're a mom, you have twin boys and a little one younger than them. And you have a family, and you built to triple with a full-time job. So that was actually one of the questions that people asked, was how do you juggle everything? How do you promote to Ambassador Diamond with everything that you have on your plate?
It's not easy. It's going to make me cry. I feel like that's the part that probably annoys me the most, is people that say I'm lucky, because it was a lot of sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went triple, it took me 4 months. I didn't see my boys at dinner time or bedtime for 4 months. And it was worth it. And I would do it again in a heartbeat, because I knew it was going to make me be a stay-at-home mom. But I wish that an executive or a distributor could follow me for a day, because it's not luck and it is a huge sacrifice. So for going ambassador, I'm not joking, I have felt crazy for the past month, because I get up with my boys and then it's immediately messaging, posting, checking on my girls. Do you need a sample message today to send? Do you need a sample post to post? Mm-hmm. Have you planned your parties? Have you checked in with people if they're coming? Post again on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure my kids get lunch. Make sure they get to have some fun during their day. My house looks like an explosion. There's no BV in laundry, so don't worry. Laundry's not getting put away either. Not even joking. It is a huge sacrifice. A lot of less. I mean, I used to go to bed by 10 o'clock at night. Since I joined It Works, yeah, right. I don't go to bed before midnight. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of doing it when you can. So I'm getting my boys going with something, and then I'm immediately making a quick post, answering a message, checking in with my girls, doing something with my boys, then immediately doing it again. And it is a lot. It's not easy, but it's a sacrifice. It is a short-term sacrifice that's going to pay off so much in the long run that it's going to be worth it. I mean, I busted butt. I have so many on my team that have. Lacey Nowetner is one of my presidentials. She works full-time in accounting and then still went presidential in 11 months. Right. With a full-time job the entire time. She has a little boy and a husband. Jeannie Page was a nurse with twins that are a year old that went presidential in 5 months while nursing the entire time, school full-time, and her babies. Yeah. And so those people that stop with the excuses, they are what makes it happen. So you just have to be willing to, when you are getting ready in the morning, go ahead and making a quick post and sending a follow-up. Nighttime is normally when I follow up, so I'm sending those messages. Nap time, I'm doing something with messages. And so for me, I will tell you what pushed me to ambassador is follow-up, no doubt. Like, my follow-up game is strong this month. I have sent so many messages this month to people just checking in on you. I really think this opportunity could be great for you. And from now till Saturday at 6 a.m., you should be messaging your butt off because of this BOGO.
Right.
But to be able to juggle it, it's really just a lot of making a sacrifice. Like, did I miss bedtime this month? Yes. And it was not fun. But I knew that if I pushed as hard, I didn't want to look back and say, well, man, if I had pushed a little bit harder, I probably would be ambassador. And so I just kept pushing and doing parties. And I mean, I've had my kids in the car for 7 hours a day for the past 2 days, driving all over Texas to get to people to do whatever needed to be done. So as long as you're willing to stop making excuses and make sacrifices instead, you'll be able to juggle it. You will find the 5 minutes that you can send messages throughout the day that will carry you through, or making the sacrifice of having parties. For me, my husband walks in the door and I walk out the door and I go do parties. Have not seen him this month other than green carpet. That's it.
It's definitely a hard juggling act, but like you said, it's so worth the effort put in, because then you can, like when I started, I was working at the salon and photography, and I felt the same. Like I felt like I was gone every night.
All the time.
I didn't ever see my husband, but it was worth it once I could cut back and not have to go into the salon. I didn't have to do photography anymore. I was able to be with those kids. Those 9 months may have been hard, but it definitely paid off. You talked about your follow-up game, and this is something that I've heard from you before that I love, and I was actually going to have you share anyway. So will you share what you do with your follow-up? How often you follow up with people, and kind of how you do it?
So especially during a time like right now with BOGO, even if I just messaged them last week, I'm going to send them another message and say, hey girl, I'm not sure if you saw it, but if you join right now, you're going to get 8 wraps instead of 4 wraps with your kit. So you're getting $200 worth. Please remember, it's risk-free and nothing is going to happen if you decide this isn't for you. Is July a good month for you to start earning money? And I always end it with, is this month a good month to start earning money? Because most people are going to be like, no, I don't need money in July.
True.
So I answer the question. If I've already sent them the Dream Team message, which is my enroller challenged me to message my Dream Team, and you came to mind immediately because you have a huge social media following, or you have a rockin' personality, so just fill in why you think they're on your Dream Team. If I've already sent them that, then I'll send a funny one like, hey girl, still on my Dream Team a month later. I really want to do this with you, and I'm probably going to send messages until we're grandparents. So are you ready to do this? And so I'll make it funny, and they'll write back and be like, well, what about great-grandparents? I'm like, I'm going to get you before then. Don't worry. So making sure that you're still sending them, even if they don't reply, because a lot of them don't reply. A lot of my girls that finally joined this month had been not replying for months. Mm-hmm. And I just kept sending, hey, you're still on my mind. I still think you would do really well at this. Do you really want to have to wonder what if? Because this is risk-free if you will just jump in. And then when they finally reply, it's always, but are you going to show me what to do? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I'm not going to sign you and be like, good luck.
Right. I love that. Thank you. So that was kind of all the questions that I had. But what's one tip? Actually, before we go on to that, will you share what you do with a brand new distributor? We kind of already talked about how you launch them with parties. But when you sign a brand new distributor, what do you do to get them off to the right foot?
So when they first signed, so for July, because I did sign quite a bit in July, more than normal, I did a group message on Facebook, and they're all in it, and I just titled it like July Rap Stars, so I have all them together. Right. So as soon as I come up with like a sample post, I send it to that group. Okay. As soon as I come up with a sample message, I send it to that group first. What I send when somebody wants to order, when they're asking how to order. So I explain, like, you can order 2 ways. You can pay the membership fee, blah, 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 blah. And I have my video that explains the Loyal Customer Program. I send that to them. That way it's already typed out for them. They just have to switch it to their website. Mm-hmm. I send them, when a potential distributor asks for information, I send what I send. Mm-hmm. And then I make sure they know your first goal is for loyal customers. If you get a distributor, great, but the loyals is time sensitive. So I want you to immediately start posting on social media and immediately start messaging and then schedule your launch. And I tell them, go through my profile. Go find posts that you really like from October, from December. It doesn't even have to be this week. And use those posts. Copy my posts throughout the day. That's fine. Yeah. But I want to make sure they know that for loyals is imperative. I tell them, don't wait for your kit. Try to do it as fast as you can. We give you 30 days. Do you think you can do it in a week? Try to do it as fast as you can. And then from there, I just continue to guide them, like, here are sample posts. I feel like that's the biggest difference I feel like with my team is I give them samples of every single thing, because a lot of them just don't know what to post or what to send. But if I give it to them, they are 100% willing to do it.
That's true. I like that. So what's one tip that you feel like any distributor, whether they're executive or presidential, what's one thing that you feel like, one piece of advice that you would give to somebody in our company?
Don't ever lose your passion, because that's what's going to sell people. If you will stay excited no matter what and stay plugged in, so watching videos from Green Carpet, watching YouTube videos, being on the corporate call, plugging in, that's what's going to keep you excited and passionate. And if your team has team trainings, I hope you're going to them, because when you're around everybody that's excited about this, you can't help but be excited. So for my team, like coming to Wrap Wednesday, I have girls that don't even bring potentials to Wrap Wednesday. They may not have any that week, but they come because that's their one day a week where they get to be with us. We're all excited together. And so just staying around people that are on your team, in your upline, your sideline, that are excited, because you're not going to be able to lose your passion for it if you stay plugged in. But if you isolate yourself, it's so easy to forget your why and forget your passion for this company.
Right. I love that. That's definitely something that I feel like, you can't work the business if you aren't passionate about it and you don't know why you're here. So that's definitely one of my things that I feel like are very important in this business. Anyway, I just want to thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations on your amazing promotion last night. Now he's
Thank you. Thank you for spending the weekend with me. I was so excited. I loved it.
It was amazing. But thank you for getting on this with our team, and I hope everybody learned a lot of wonderful things. Ashley is amazing, and we're so blessed to have her on our team. And thanks for joining us, and we'll see everybody next week.
Perfect. If you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to tag me on Ultimate Body, and just tag me in it. That way that I'll know you're on that team, because I'm getting a lot of messages right now.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ashley.
All righty. Bye, y'all.
See you.